Save Our Planet, biblical environmental messages highlighted. A new edition of the Bible has been released by HarperOne for the growing number of ecologically interested Christians. This green Bible is printed on recycled paper using soy ink, with over 1,000 passages highlighted in green that refer to the Lord's love for creation and humans' role in protecting it. In addition to the biblical text, the book also contains writings on creation care from such venerated figures as Archbishop Desmond Tutu and Pope John Paul II. We express our appreciation, HarperOne, for this volume of the Holy Book that highlights another aspect of our divine purpose. Blessed be humanity in benevolent stewardship of this God-given wondrous earth.
NASA explores the heliosphere. On Sunday, the U.S. Space Agency launched the Interstellar Boundary Explorer, or IBEX, from the South Pacific with a 6-month mission to gather more information about the protective region known as the heliosphere. The heliosphere, which extends from the Sun to the outer regions of the solar system, shields the Earth from damaging cosmic radiation.
You can see that really well in this animation, where the solar wind is streaming out past all the planets, and it's blown this bubble in interstellar space. The nearly spherical solar wind termination shock bubble, and then the solar wind slows down and starts moving back into the tail, and then the interstellar gas, which is moving very quickly up here, slows down in the bow shock and moves around the solar system.
Scientists have noticed that this shield has weakened by a full 25% over the past 10 years and is now at its lowest point in 50 years, meaning that the Earth could be subjected to dangerous levels of radiation if the trend continues. NASA scientists, we appreciate this research and wish the IBEX mission many illuminating discoveries. May we meanwhile seek to ensure the future of the Earth through our caring actions to protect all life.
French-speaking countries reaffirm commitment to climate change. 70 French-speaking countries attended the 12th Francophonie Summit in Quebec, Canada, where the group pledged their cooperation to develop national policies toward the shared goal of a 50% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by 2050. This agreement will also contribute to upcoming greenhouse gas meetings that seek to formulate a successor to the Kyoto Protocol. During the summit, Canadian Prime Minister Stephen Harper also announced his country's plans to direct $84 million in aid to developing countries most impacted by global warming. Our accolades, Francophone attendees, for coming together to find agreement on ways to lighten our carbon footprint. And heaven's blessings, Canada, for your giving spirit towards those already affected by climate change. May we all walk together in concerted efforts to rebalance our shared planetary home.
150,000 trees planted in Ugandan district. In response to quickly vanishing forests due to migration and previous extensive tree felling, Kibale district officials are seeking to plant 200,000 additional trees by the end of the rainy season. Acting District Forestry Officer Wilson Kayumohandare stated, "In the last 3 years we have planted over 950,000 trees, but there is still need to plant more. We laud your noble endeavors to help preserve nature, Kibale District in Uganda. Let us all protect our Earth's life-sustaining beauty through environmentally conscious actions such as these."
New report warns climate change is worse than predicted. A new report from the World Wildlife Fund, or WWF, Climate Change Faster, Stronger, Sooner, was presented at a recent European Union Environmental Ministers' Conference. The report concludes that the planet is warming at even a quicker pace than the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change had predicted in 2007. Rising temperatures have already led to 40 million tons of grains a year being lost to crop failures, as well as less absorption of CO2 than expected from natural carbon sinks in forests and oceans. The WWF is advocating a 30% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions for European Union member states by 2020, with additional funds being channeled to help developing nations cope with climate change and no allowances for carbon offsets. We are grateful, World Wildlife Fund, for these alarming reminders of the fragile state of our biosphere. With heaven's grace, may we act together quickly to preserve our planetary abode.
The Castello Montevibiano Vecchio olive growers in Italy have set out to reduce their carbon emissions to zero through the use of electric vehicles charged by solar power and non-food biofuels, as well as planting 10,000 trees.
California, USA has unveiled a comprehensive plan to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by up to 4 tons per person by combining caps on major polluters with more efficient cars and sustainable energy sources.